Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a T25-2. It's the American Tier 7 tank destroyer, and this one is located on the defending spawn of Siegfried Line, and it's being commanded by General Anonymous. Okay, battle has commenced. Now, the T25-2 was actually designed supposedly to make use of the T23 chassis. It was going to mount a 90mm gun instead of the 105, which is fitted to the T25AT. But since the T23 never made it into production, this project was only a design on paper and never went into a prototype phase. Never produced, but it's an enclosed turret mounting a 90mm gun, and it's got a fully rotatable turret as well, which is also quite useful. Now, looking for a target. There's a KV-85 coming up there to the entrance to the city, but right from the back of the map, there's nothing to fire at just yet. We're waiting for spots to come from the T34, who's moved up quite a long way forward. It's a Tier 7 game, so we've got Tier 5 tanks in it, and T34 is obviously that Tier 5 medium. Might be a good idea to move forward, because he's not going to get any shots from here. Nope. The enemy just seems to be probing. They've got a couple of tanks into the city through the centre gates, but the ones that are trying to get in through the south gates are having a lot of difficulty because they are getting repelled. That T1 Heavy is actually on the one that's in the centre gate. I think they really ought to move forward from this position, because they're certainly not going to. They're going to be wasting their time sitting back here, not getting any shots at all on the enemy. Meanwhile, the enemy will get into the city and get a foothold. They've now got more than 3 tanks inside the city, and they're now starting to encroach on the north, so he really needs to get in there quick, otherwise it's going to be too late. We've got a KV-85 there. He gets a hit into him for 211. That's useful. Can he finish him off? No. It's an Oni. Might be able to get a shot into him. So it's going to be into the front armour. 267. At least I think it's the front armour. It might be the rear actually if he's going in the opposite direction. And another shot in. 239 that time. It's got a 6.64 second reload. Most of the tanks he's looking at are actually inside the city. Here's one, a 12-ton, and he's outside. Now he's coming this direction. He's been spotted, and he's receiving fire from the 12-ton. Fires a round in, gets 205 on auto aim. Unfortunately, he's lost his driver, so he's going to have to put him back in. Fires another round of APCR into that 12-ton. Not sure APCR is needed at this particular point, but I think he forgot to reselect AP after firing at the Oni. That 12-ton's disappeared. There he is again. Well, he's popped up, locked on, and finishes him off for 161. But he's out of APCR now, and that's a problem, because he's got some difficult tanks to deal with, and he hasn't got the ammo to hit them with. Well, he's got standard AP, but he's going to have to place the rounds accurately. He might be better off using HE on that one, IKV 103. And he's auto aiming. And he finishes the IKV off. 189 off that shot. Oh, but he's receiving fire from a Stug. He needs to get under the ridgeline there to prevent the Stug from getting advantage. Locked onto the Stug. He's double bushed, so he can actually shoot the Stug without the Stug being able to see exactly where he is. But he knocked that tree over. That will give the Stug a clue. You might want to move forward into that area next to the river. Ah, there's the Stug. And that's a good hit. 258. Almost reloaded. And no, that one auto-aimed and it went into the ground. And he's been hit by the enemy Arty. No, that didn't work. That one finished him off. 92 hit points. Now he needs to get out of there because the enemy RT knows where he is and could fire at him. There's only 3 left on either side, but the enemy RT is an AMX-13F3. That's a 155mm gun. Can do a lot of damage. He suffered 143 hit from the Stug, and so he hasn't got much in the way of hit points left. 294, but he finishes off the Leopard, and that he actually managed to get a fire in the Leopard as well. 13 fire, and he's picked up a fighter badge, and he picked up the Aslains. So he did set fire to the Leopard and burn him up with that shot. But the Oni's in the city. And he's now looking for the AMX-13F3. Well, the Oni is chasing that T67 around as the AMX DLC rather is coming up behind him, but he's got virtually no hit points left, and he would be in a lot of trouble if he comes across the Oni. And it appears that General Anonymous is going looking for the AMX. There's the Oni. Yeah, the others are using their speed and manoeuvrability to ambush the Oni, and they've got shots into him. The AMX is trying to get away, I think, there. Yeah, he just managed to get away, but the T67's come right into the Oni. Commentating from the mini-map at the moment, but will the AMX-13F3 appear? Oh, he's been seen! There he is! Okay, locked on, and big hit! 251. He's going to reload before the AMX can react, I think. Oh, AMX derps his round, but he finishes him off, and that's his 5th kill. Now, the Oni has been taken out, so that means it's the end of the battle. And the win rate for that battle was 6,020. Very good. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's a first-class tanker for General Anonymous in the T25 too. He also managed to pick up a Bruiser medal for getting 5 critical hits, and that's exactly what he managed to get. He got an Aslains badge when he set fire to the Leopard, the 1602, and took him out. He got a Duelist badge for killing 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle, and he also got a Fighter badge for killing at least 4 tanks. He managed to kill 5. He got a Fire for effect for dealing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, but best of all, he picked up a High Calibre. He managed to deal the most damage in the battle, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. So he got 2,374 hit points of damage. He managed to get 5 kills, which put him second on the table to the IS, who managed to get a Top Gun, but unfortunately he was taken out. And when it came to base XP, again, he was second to the IS. He actually managed to get 881 XP, but the IS managed to get 931, just ahead of him. So, detail report, he fired 19 rounds, got 12 direct hits, 12 penetration, damage of 2,374 hit points, of which 717 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 5 hits, 4 of which were penetrations, 1 was a non-penetration, and he received 1 hit as a result of splash damage from the MX-13F3. He blocked damage of 135 hit points, he spotted 2 of the enemy, he damaged 7 of the enemy and killed 5 of them. On a standard account, he earned 21,767 credits, and he was after repair, ammunition resupply, and consumables. He actually took away a deficit of 15,193 credits, and he did use a fair amount of APCR during this battle, and that's why that resupply is rather expensive. He received 881 base XP, but it was ×2 for the first victory of the day, so he took away 1,762 XP altogether. But I suppose he'll be quite happy that he did manage to get the win, and he got the High Calibre. Not sure it's a great idea to be at the back of the map though on some of these battles, because ideally you want to catch the enemy when they're trying to get into the city but they're failing. That makes it all the more easy to get victory on one flank and then finish off the enemy on the other flank afterwards. But it seemed to work, and you did deal with the both the AMX 12-ton and the Stug when they attacked you. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replays that I'll be featuring in the next video.